No, Lex Fridman is not a leftist, bro. What do you mean? He's like an Elon simp. Let's hear what he had to say with Richard Wolff about capitalism.
Antithesis to the government. I think an immense con has been pulled on the American people. And the con works like this. You know what's bad and what's dangerous and threatens you? It's the government. The government's going to come in and tell you what to do. The government's going to run your life. The government's the problem. There really is no other way to explain the following in American politics. Large numbers of people lose their homes in a downturn, like the so-called Great Recession of 2008. Who do they blame? The government. Large numbers of people go unemployed. And what is the media all about? The government. If I were a capitalist, I'd love this. I kick the workers by throwing them out of their home, and they don't get angry at me. They get angry at the government. I fire large numbers of people. I have no responsibility for what happens to them as a result of having no job and no income.
This is a really good, like, Richard Wolff, for some of his, like, L takes during COVID, does have a really good way of just arriving at the heart of the agitprop, like the meat and the bones, you know what I mean? Straight up. That alone, that minute alone, immediately synthesizes the issues with mainstream media and how they play a fundamental role in shifting responsibility away from capitalist corporations back to the government. Now, this doesn't mean that the government does not have a responsibility to fix some of the problems. It, of course, does. But it's a bourgeois government that is 100% operating at the behest of capital owners for their best interests, right? And they don't do that. And that is something that we should be criticizing. But the idea that, like, for example, people say, oh, all the jobs moved overseas to China, the government did that, for example, is such a dumb fucking take. It's like, no, motherfucker, the capitalists did that. Okay? What, you think the government at gunpoint was like, hey,